That's right. Well, let's get into the topic tonight. Or excuse me, the first question of the evening. It's an email question from LaRonda. When I rented my apartment, I was told that it had security, but I've seen people buying and selling drugs in our parking area and the vacant lot next door. Police have been called a lot. Does my landlord have a legal responsibility to make things safe for me and my kids? A great question.
LaRonda, I got to tell you, that is a horrible situation to be in, and my advice to you is move. Break that lease, get out of there. Call my office and we'll have a little chat with the landlord when they say that they're going to provide security. Typically, landowners are not allowed, excuse me, let me back up a little bit. Typically, landlords don't have to provide security, but once they say, hey, we're providing security, then they have to provide it. And then when you get in a situation like this, when there's ongoing criminal activity that is outside in your parking lot, the police are called on a regular and routine basis, then the landlord does have a duty and responsibility to step up and provide appropriate security measures. If not, they can be sued for something called negligent security. Oh, imagine that. And we certainly don't want to have that happen because, LaRonda, usually what happens in that situation, there's a physical assault, there's a horrible break-in. You don't need to deal with it. If somebody does state that you provide security, then if they don't have it, you need to get out of there. Just move. And it may be a situation where you can't move, and you need to be writing that landlord, telling the landlord, hey, the neighbors called the cops last night, the neighbors did this last night, the cops came again, and they've been here. And believe it or not, every time that there's a call made to the police office, there's something that is written down. Everything's electronic. So when it's written down and it's put in electronically, in the event that there is a case that does arise out of it where somebody unfortunately is assaulted or undergoes some type of physical trauma, anything at all, then the lawyers like me will call or go to the police department and get the computer-aided dispatch logs for that particular location. And then when you start to see that the police are called day in and day out and day in and day out, and the landlord doesn't take appropriate responsibility, then the landlord becomes responsible for that. You can't prevent all crime, but when the crime is occurring on a regular and routine basis, then, Courtney, yes, the landlord is responsible and should be held accountable for situations like that.
Now, Larry, in LaRonda's original question, it doesn't say that it was actually in the lease. It just says, I was told.
I was told. That is enough.
Is that enough? That's what I was about to ask you.
That is going to be enough, yes.
It doesn't have to be specified in her lease agreement. She signed that. It can just be the landlord saying, I'm going to provide you with security.
Yeah, and so the security, and then the landlord could say, oh, what is the security? I provide cameras. Is that security? Is it a security officer? Is it controlled access? What is the type of security that's controlled? And each security situation depends upon the nature and extent of the security. You go out to Bay Point, which is a local homeowners association here. Buddy, they lock you down. They make you give you over your license. They take down your tag. They want to know where you're going, who you're going to go see. That's probably the highest level of security that we have here in Bay County. And so when you've got that kind of security versus open doors and an open driveway and an open access, then that's no security. So where is it in between? When somebody is told and they're signing a lease, oh yes, we have security officers, we have off-duty security that comes here, we have off-duty police officers that patrol, then when that representation is made, because that is something of material substance, then LaRonda should be able to rely on it. And if they don't have it, then certainly LaRonda can rely on it to get out of the lease.
Great.